Welcome, everyone, to the 42nd episode of On-Ayer. I am Ryan Ayers. And in honor of Pat Tillman, my 42nd time on air for sure has to be about college football. And it's already less than a month into the college football season. We haven't gotten out of the month of September. And there's big-time turbulence in the college football coaching world. Les Miles, his hot seat turned into a scorcher. He has been ousted. And the defensive coordinator just before that, hours before, at Notre Dame, Brian Van Gorder, was also forced out. So those are the two biggest decisions that have been made already in the first month. They looked like they were musts. We touched on the Brian Van Gorder situation a couple weeks ago. And then after losing to Duke 38-35, it was time for him to go. Probably a couple weeks too late, even after the Texas game. The decision could have been made. When you give up 38 points to a team that only scored 13 the week before at Northwestern, Northwestern's lone victory, that gives you all you need to know. Brian Kelly said it was his decision. I find that hard to believe because just hours before at his press conference, he talked about how it was not the coaching, and the defensive coaching was great over the weekend. He had no problem with any of that. So he's lying one way or the other. I think it was the power brokers, the big money backers from Notre Dame that probably blew up Jack Swarbrick, the AD at Notre Dame's cell phone all night long into the morning saying, get rid of this guy or the money's going to stop funneling out and not coming to the program anymore. To the Les Miles situation, last year it all came out that he was gone then, middle of the season. But then it was more of a tearjerker moment, and the LSU faithful said, let's basically give him one more chance. And that one more chance didn't last but 4 games. He's already got a 2-2 record, and that's a tough way to go out in a last-second game at Auburn. I think the play really should have stood as called on the field just because there should have been 2 seconds on the clock for Les Miles instead of 1. They should have been able to get the play off anyway. But again, that's kind of how his career was dictated at LSU. A little bit at the biggest points in time in the football games, it seemed like his teams were not prepared for the moment. Should have had a play set up, but I said should have had 2 seconds on the clock, I believe, because the play before that ticked off too much time. But college football, as you can see, is big business. It's tough. You got to send these kids to class, some of these schools, you got to get these kids to have good grades. But it's all about winning on the football field. And these coaches are getting paid big-time money. We're talking $3, $4, $5, $6 million a year. We don't even know what Jim Harbaugh is truly getting paid at Michigan. So it's big business. And you got to get W's. And if you don't, you're ousted. And that's just the way it is. And that's what they sign up for. And I guess if you asked everybody else around the United States as fans and in the media, if they would take that proposition, no one would decline 3 years, $15 million, and to be fired halfway through it. So with that, I want to let you know you've just been on air, and I am Ryan Ayers.